Five, four, three, two, one. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We are here. This is Tips for Tuesday, Tuesday Night Live, and I am your host, Elisha, head photographer of Custom Creation Photography, coming to you for another Tuesday Night Live Tips for Tuesday. And this month is, let's see, we are at the last Tuesday in the month of May. And if you've been following along, we have been talking about Tips for Tuesday, creating content while you travel. And when I want to use the word content, what I'm really saying is photographing or getting photos taken or capturing things while you're traveling. So you could be going from city to city, country to country. Okay. And so for the last few weeks, we have been sharing tips on basically locating a content creator or photographer, finding locations, different things like that. So today's topic or tonight's topic this Tuesday is we are going to be talking about organizing and repurposing your travel content. So now that you done found a photographer, now that you done got a location, now that you done got the pictures taken and everything like that, now what? So that is what we are going to be talking about and discussing on tonight's Tips for Tuesday. And I have, as always, a few tips for you. And these, I just want to let you know too, as I'm talking about this subject, I'm doing this. I'm just creating this as I go. I'm learning this stuff in the process. So I didn't, you know what? you know so I'm learning these things in the process. So what I'm doing is just sharing my steps and how I create things and how I do things, and I'm just sharing it with you, and hopefully you can have some success if you're traveling city for city with your family, whether it's your girls trip or different things like that, and you just want to create some great photos while you're on the move in another city. By all means, share these tips, because guess what? I have a whole guide coming, okay? I have a whole digital guide coming on how to do this step by step, and it has more details and different things like that. So stay tuned for that, okay? So, without further ado, and then I think I'm gonna have a story too on this one to share with you guys on a recent trip. I just came back from Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm going to share my experience on locating a photographer there, as well as just my experiences using the tips that I'm sharing with you. Okay, so tonight's tips for Tuesday, we're going to talk about it is basically how to organize and repurpose your travel content. Okay. Now it's funny because I'm actually talking to myself as I'm talking to you about this stuff, because I realize I am a content photography junkie. Okay. I love good pictures. I love taking pictures. Um, it just I don't know. It brings me so much joy. Okay. And so it is a part of my travel plans. Okay. It is a part of my plans and my agenda and my itinerary when I'm visiting a new city or when I'm traveling around the country to locate me a photographer or content creator. I plan on getting me some good pictures while I'm at a new city. Okay. That is a part of my plan. Okay, so I'm just kind of sharing this stuff with you. However, tonight we are going to be talking about how to organize and repurpose this content. Okay? Because at this point, your girl Alicia, I am sitting on a ton of good stuff. Mm, a ton of good stuff. Okay? So, what I want to do is share with you 4 tips on just kind of organizing and repurposing this stuff. Okay? All right. So, we're going to go into number 1. Okay. So now that we done did all the things, okay, this is content while we're traveling. All right. We done found a photographer. We done scouted the location. We done got the pictures, everything like that. Now they done sent us the link. Now we done downloaded the photos. Now we got all the things. We are back home. We are sliding through our memories. We're doing all the things. Okay. So now we got to organize this stuff. And then we got to figure out how to share the story. All right. So I'm going to go into those tips. And then I got a little story to tell you based on my recent trip to Charleston, South Carolina that we had over the weekend and my experience in using what I'm telling you. I got to tell you what took place and what happened. Okay. So, number one, the first things first. It's not the first things first, but yes, it is. It's the first thing first. Create a digital folder system. Now, that is one thing I definitely do. You know, when I come back from a trip, when I'm a little bit settled and everything like that, I actually create a folder on my external drive. I label it the name of the city and the year, okay? And I dump all my stuff over in that guide, okay? Inside of that, you can actually create subfolders and different things like that, because a lot of times even when I'm traveling outside of myself, I actually take, just different pictures that are just, whether it's the architecture in the city, landmarks, and different things like that. So, you can actually have subfolders inside of that, to organize or categorize your items, your photos and stuff, okay? So, you can create a digital folder system, okay? And you can use things like Google Drive, Dropbox, or like I just told you, an external drive to store and label the content by the city, the date, or an event, okay? And then you can keep those folders for your raw photos. You can have your videos over there and even your edited content over there to stay organized and ready to post at any time. Okay. So they're basically, once you create you a system, you are ready to go. Or, like me personally, I'm just getting to that. So I gotta organize or throw all the stuff in there because I had several devices that I was using outside of my cell phone. I had my cameras, I had my point and shoot, and I had actually another cell phone with me. So I have content or I have photos and videos on all those devices. So I need to get them all over into that one folder. Okay. So that my stuff is not all scattered around and different things like that. But this will help you to organize your items to be able to share. Okay. So that's number one. Number two is to repurpose with intention. So that one photo shoot that you had, you can turn it into multiple types of content. So if you're posting on social media and different things like that, you can reels, carousels, stories, blog posts, and even quotes, you know. So one shoot or that shoot in that city, I mean, this is going to give you some stuff to keep going and going and going. Okay. So, get that folder, put that stuff over there, and start basically mapping out and getting some stuff together because this thing gave you a whole bunch of good old content to share. Okay, so that's number two. Number three, I love this idea. I love this idea. Okay, build a content city series. What? A content city series. So that's definitely something I want to do. This would be great. A content city series, and this will pair great anyway with the guide that we have coming up. So y'all stay tuned for that. But build a content. I'm getting so excited. I'm getting so excited. Yeah, I'm so excited. All right, build a content city series. So you can showcase each city you visit in a theme series. Example, captured in Chicago, moments in Miami, and you can boost your brand storytelling and attract new audiences by this series. So I love the fact that Content City series. I really, really love that. And that's definitely something I would like to put together because, like I was telling you already, I'm sitting on plenty of content from some of the different cities and experiences I had. And I just got a lot of work to do when it comes to this stuff. But like I said, man, this is one of my favorite things to do. It's a part of what I do as far as when I'm moving around and traveling and different things like that. I'm telling you, a part of my agenda, my itinerary, and what I plan on doing is getting some pictures taken because it's one of my favorite things to do. Okay. I love to get, and it's just a little casual shoot. It don't matter. I'm not trying to be all whatever. This is just a casual shoot that I can get some nice pictures and enjoy. Okay. All right. So number 4 is make travel content part of your system. Okay. Make travel content as part of your system. So listen, don't just post at one time. You can use these images and these videos throughout the year to highlight your journey. You can offer location based services or even inspire others. You can use this content to inspire others on what you do. Me personally, I enjoy, like, this is something I enjoy, and I know I'm not the only one that enjoyed this because someone else inspired me to do this. Thank you, Monique. I always say that. Somebody inspired me to do, and I'm like, oh, a whole light bulb went out in my head, and it's been on and popping ever since. So it is a joy for me, and I could just see now I love it. So I decided to share my experiences. How I'm doing this, how what I'm doing and everything. It is like my content lives events that I put on. Now I feel like I'm doing content live from city to city. I really wanted to do that anyway from city to city. Now I'm doing it for myself, and I'm just enjoying every bit of it. I'm enjoying every bit of it. Okay? So that is your 4 tips, okay? So listen, have you ever, this is a question, have you ever used travel content to promote your brand? Okay? And also tag us in your next city shoot or let us know what's the next city you're going to be visiting soon. Okay? Let us know. Okay? Also, so listen, we're going to have a digital guide. It is coming soon. It is in the progress. We're almost finished with it. So stay tuned where we're going to have detail layout of a guide on creating content from city to city. Okay? How we do it, all the details of this thing. Okay? And if this is something you're interested in and stuff like that, I'll be happy for you to grab a copy of that when we have that complete and available for you. Okay. So I just want to, before I let you go and before we just go over a few more things, I'm saying, you know what, before I go over this story, let me just say this once again. Let me go over these 4 tips once again. Okay. Number 1, create a digital file folder system. All right, for your travel photos. Number 2, repurpose it with an intention. So use that travel to promote whatever you're doing. Use that content. And even before you even have it done, think about how you want to use it. All right. Number 3, you can build a series, a content series, city to city. Okay. Content city series. Example, captured in Chicago, moments in Miami, some different things like that. Just think about how you can use this stuff and how you can create a series based on that. And number 4, make the travel content part of your system. Okay. So you're using those images and those videos throughout the year to highlight the journey, and you can also offer location based or inspire others with your content. And that's exactly, like I said, what I'm doing as well. I'm just taking my experiences after doing this over and over and over again, and I'm just putting together and providing you with the information on how I do it. I meet some fantastic people along the way, and it's just a way to learn about the city, network in the city, capture great images, and different things like that. It is really a joy. So, in saying that, we traveled over to Charleston, South Carolina over the weekend. And this time I did a couple of things. I checked Airbnb experiences as well as I put out a listing on Craigslist. What I learned about this particular city, okay, so this is my first time not getting the response that I normally would get when I do a Craigslist ad. So it lets me know, I know I'm in the city of Atlanta. So Atlanta has a lot of content creators, photographers, people who create content, and is Johnny on the spot when you have an ad out. Like my ad, when I run a Craigslist ad, I mean, I get plenty, plenty, plenty of people interested in the work that I'm asking or the gig job that I'm offering. So in this particular case, I'm waiting and it seemed like it was basically a snooze fest. I didn't get a lot of response at all, and I was just like, hello, is anybody there? And I even went and searched their gigs and just to see if anybody's even out there. Okay. So I didn't even really see a lot of people out there, with that type of advertisement going on or photographers or anything like that. So it kind of gave me a gist of the vibe of that city as far as when it comes to photography and content creation. So that's something that you might want to look out for. So what happened is I went into another type of search. So I started going to like TikTok and Instagram just looking for Charleston photographers, you know, and just kind of just looking for that way. But what ended up happening is because it wasn't that serious for me, I actually found a lady on Airbnb experiences and she offered iPhone photography, and her pictures look fantastic on the experience. It was very affordable. It was like $40 per person. And we were able to book it for a private group, which was just a little bit extra. And honestly, a part of her experiences were she was going to be taking pictures at some of the places that I had actually wanted to sightsee at. So it was a win-win for me. It was a win for the sightseeing kind of thing and to get the photos that I wanted. So it was a win-win and it was an affordable option. Okay. So she only had a couple of dates available. I had to hurry up and book because I did not want to miss out on the opportunity. Okay, so I was able to book her service. We booked the service, and honestly, we had a fantastic experience. It was fantastic. She was knowledgeable. She was fantastic working with. She posed us really nicely and everything like that. So, she was a 5 star for me. It was a 5 star for me. I appreciated her service. I appreciated everything about it. So, even though I didn't get what I wanted off of a Craigslist or anything like that. One thing about Airbnb, you don't, they're already vetted. You already know what you're getting from the service and everything like that. So it was just a win-win. So I'm just giving kind of that service, or I'm just kind of telling this story based on, you know, that was a real slow thing for me. I didn't put out ads for different cities. Of course, these are bigger cities, probably have bigger, like more people doing the photography and content creation. It's such a big thing in a lot of different cities. But I not saying it's not happening there, but it's not as big as other cities. So my response time was not what I was used to. Okay. So my experience was I got a couple of people, I followed up with them, but they didn't even follow back up with me. So it was a flake from the jump. So, but mission accomplished. I was able to book, her name was Nicole. I was able to book her off an Airbnb experience. Perfect, a 5 star experience for me and my family friends. And it was just fantastic. So I just wanted to kind of just tell that story. And so now I have the images. She was able to send them over on a link and we were able to download them. So now it's time for me to use the tips that I'm giving to you tonight, create my digital file system so I can get my Charleston, South Carolina travel photos put in a folder and then work on building this content city series, and sharing my experience. One of the things I would definitely want to do is I definitely want to blog my experience and different things like that. So I'm trying to kind of settle in and get my thoughts together so I can go ahead and publish me a blog, because at this point we are here in May, and guess what? I'd have been on 2 trips and I got plenty of content from both the trips in this wonderful month of May. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity to fly out and fly back and drive out and drive back and everything like that, and then even have the content or the photos to to share with my audience, or just share with myself. I love just being able to blog and just share my experiences. So listen, I am your girl Elisha, coming to you for another Tuesday Night Live. This has been a joy for me to share this experience. Y'all stay tuned because my guide is coming, the digital guide, creating content while traveling. Listen, stay tuned, look out, follow us on our social media channels. We're on TikTok, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, and check us out and stay tuned. You can also sign up for our mailing list, okay? If you want to stay tuned and let you know when that guide is dropping, okay? So, thank you once again, and as always, thanks for joining us, and there's more to come. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.